What's going on, guys? Motonosity here. Welcome back to the build series. I got a shipment in for the Honda Grom. We're waiting on some parts. There's a lot that I've got, but there's a lot that we have to wait to do until we have a few pieces that I'm waiting on. But I got a shipment in from Luimoto, and we're gonna be putting the new seat cover on the seat for the build. I'm super stoked about this. Luimoto has been a huge partner on the channel for a long time. Way back to 2017 when I put their seat cover on my 2017 R6. Then I put it on the R3 that we did for the first giveaway bike that I did here on the channel. And then of course I did the gel seat and seat cover on the S1000. Here is their flagship design on the 2020 BMW S1000 RR M Sport. But on top of that, well, not on top, underneath, it also has their gold gel insert. So you basically cut away some of the foam, you put in the gel, and it puts a really nice cushioned feel underneath your butt. So that completely changed the feel on this seat. If you're familiar or you've heard, the stock seat on the S1000M is rock hard. Now I can ride on that thing for hours and it's not an issue. Luimoto sent out a seat cover, specially designed. I actually worked with them to make a custom design for this bike, and you guys can go and order it for your Grom on their website right now. I'll put a link down in the description so you guys can check it out. So if you want the same seat cover that I'm gonna be putting on this Honda Grom, you guys can get it yourself. I'm getting ahead of myself. If you guys are new to the channel, new to the build series, we are gonna be giving away this bike, taking it from a completely stock Grom to one of the coolest, fastest Groms on the road. We're doing a 300 swap on it. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm really excited, and we're gonna be giving it away when we're done. So if you wanna get entries into winning the bike, head over to the Patreon page. It'll be the top link in the description so you guys can check it out. One of you guys could win the bike. So I'm gonna get this opened up. We're gonna see what we're working with, and we're gonna see how it looks. This looks so good. So on the first two bikes that I did, the R6 and the R3, I did the diamond stitching pattern on the kind of suede that they have. And then on the S1000, I just have the straight line pattern that you see here, so just straight lines. But I saw them doing this stitching pattern on some bikes, and I just fell in love with how it looked, and I thought it could look really cool with the larger seat that's on the Grom. So with this one, you have lines that are straight and then go out and or up and out. And then what we did is right here at the front on the sides where your kind of thighs kind of squeeze the seat and the tank, you got the gripper material. What I'm gonna actually do is remove, so here's the stock seat. It has this handle here. I usually remove that on bikes, but once you remove it, it kind of cleans up the full length of the seat. Here's how everything's gonna sit. And we've got the blacked out, real subtle Motonosity logo on the rear of the bike. So you guys always know who built this bike. I don't know if they told me or if I forgot, but they also sent out their tank leaf product. I haven't used it before, but it's another, if you're familiar with other tank grip products, it just essentially allows you to better grip the tank. Theirs, however, it's cushioned. So I'm curious how this is gonna feel and how it's gonna look on the bike. Pretty excited for that. So if you wanna get any of these products, Luimoto is a sponsor on the channel. They've supported me a lot over the past few years, and I just love their product. We're gonna get to work. It's gonna be a little bit of a process because we're not just doing a seat cover, we're doing the gold gel as well. Other than that, it's pretty simple. I'm not gonna have the same problem that I did on the S1000. The places where you have to staple the material were super tight on that seat, but I'm really excited for this because I can show you guys on this one that you can do it with really cheap products. Here is just a manual little staple gun. That's how I did the first few seat covers that I ever did. The only bike that I needed an actual air compressor attachment staple gun was on the S1000 because I needed the force and I needed kind of a needle nose type of tip. So I'm gonna start taking the seat cover off. I'll link all the tools that you guys need in order to do the install, as well as linking to the seat cover and gold gel insert. Let's see how this works out. All right, so I got all the staples out, pretty easy. I strongly recommend one of these tools. It's just like a staple pulling tool. You can get by if you want and you don't want to buy anything extra. You can get by with a stapler, or not a staple, a screwdriver. And if you have it, a needle nose plier will help you out a little bit more. The stock Grump seat also had just like a plastic cover over the foam, just to protect the foam from moisture. Now there's some misconception that the suede, I don't know if it's actual suede, I don't think it is, but the suede-like material that Luimoto uses on their seat covers can't get wet. That's not true. The seat. So I wanted to double check about all of that. Luimoto has on their website that you can get it wet. What you're gonna wanna do is just soak up what water you can and then let it air dry from there. I've actually never done that. Whenever I've had my seat get completely soaked, I've let it dry by itself and I've never had a problem. I would still follow the directions on the website, but this was just my point, saying that you don't have to worry if it does get wet because you can just dry it out and you're gonna be okay. The cover on my R6 got wet. The seat cover on my S1000 has gotten wet. They dry out fine. That's not really an issue, but what you will wanna do, and Luimoto actually includes it in the kit, this moisture barrier. Put it over all of the foam and you just staple it in along with the seat cover. What we gotta do now is plan out where we're gonna put the gel insert. So here is their gold gel insert. Again, it's like a 1/2 inch thick. You just cut out some of the foam from your original seat, peel off the plastic, and it's got an adhesive. You just place it in. Then on top of that, you'll put on this foam that Luimoto includes. That adds a little bit of extra cushion as well. And what it also does is basically make the line between the foam and the gel seamless. You're definitely gonna wanna use this when you do the install. But what you're gonna have to do from the start is figure out exactly where you want to have the gel insert and where you wanna cut it. It's got this slight lip here. I think I'm gonna try to include that. You're gonna wanna primarily put it only where the seat is flat. Don't like curve it around the edges of the seat. So what I'll be doing is figuring out exactly where I want the gel to be, where I want to cut. So I'll lightly just use a marker. Got one right here. So I'll just generally figure out where I want the lines to be for the gel. And then I'll cut the gel itself and then trace exactly around the gel on the foam itself, so I know where I'm gonna be cutting. And then you're gonna wanna use a very sharp blade. I got a couple here. This one is much nicer than this one is. And we'll cut out the foam that we want to the correct depth and then put the gel in. All right, so I've got the gel marked out with exactly how I want to cut it. First thing I did, mark a center line on this, and then also doing a center line on the seat. So that way, when you put this down, all you gotta do is line it up with your markings, there you have your seat. So what I'm gonna do now is actually cut along these lines. You can use a super sharp blade. You can also put a little bit of silicone on it just so that it doesn't stick, because the gel is really, really sticky. I used kind of a rolling blade last time, but I think I'm gonna try a pair of scissors with some silicone spray on it. What I'm gonna be doing after that is tracing around the gel and then cutting out the foam. So actually where I've cut the gel is a little bit wider than I'd like. So it's perfect up here, it's perfect right here, but the flat spot of the seat kind of comes around like this. So I'm actually gonna bring the gel in a little bit. All right, guys, I got all the foam out that I need to get out. The curve of the seat, so right here, it curves, it's a pretty harsh curve up here. That's really, really hard to do the cuts with, but even so, I've got it relatively smooth. You'll see here, it doesn't look very smooth. That's okay, because once you lay down the gel, got it perfectly fit. You can't feel any of that. And on top of the gel, of course, we're gonna have that extra layer of foam padding that's gonna go on the entire seat. Obviously do the best you can, but don't be too bummed if you can't just get like a perfectly smooth finish. But yeah, we're good to go. So what I'm gonna do is take off the layer of plastic that you have on one side of this and lay it down in here. And then I've got some spray adhesive. We'll spray the whole seat. We'll lay down that extra foam padding. It dries really quickly. And then we can put the seat cover on and get to stapling. All right, guys, we're in the home stretch. So I just finished putting on the foam. As you can see now, you know, just moving my hand around, you can't even tell that that gel, like the seam where the gel goes into the foam, it's really, really smooth with this foam cover on. Just cut along the edge, and now I've got a nice clean cut around the entire seat. So let's go ahead and get this on, get the seat cover on, staple this down, and we'll be done. loving how this is looking, guys. We are all done. Let me go ahead and I'm just gonna prop it up on the frame right now. Let me see. Should work out just fine. Look at this. This will have, we got a bike. Dude, that actually looks kind of awesome. All right, so seat is done. And oh, that's gonna look so good. I just love the stitching on this. It looks so aggressive. I'm really excited. If you guys want to get a Luimoto seat cover or the gold gel or any of the other products, make sure you guys check out the links down in the description. I'll link it for both the Grom so you guys can see that, as well as just the general site so you guys can go search your bike. If you want to check out any of the videos that have come out before this or any of the videos that will come out after this, I'll put the playlist link for the build series down in the description so you guys can check it out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. And as always, if you're not subbed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you guys get notified of all the videos when they go live. You guys have been awesome. I've been Motonosity. Remember, life's better with horsepower. Keep life live. I'll see you guys in the next one.